Let's talk about what I believe is one of the biggest things that an INFJ craves and longs for. By being a counsellor for specifically INFJ people, I often see this come up in conversation over and over again. And that is the desire to be heard and understood. INFJs are often the people that are misunderstood, not truly heard, and looked over. This can be quite hurtful for the INFJ, as they are the people that constantly seek to not only understand people, but to hear and see them too. It can really suck when it feels like the INFJ doesn't have that same energy sent back to them. Let's talk about 3 reasons why this might be the case for an INFJ and what you can do about it. Number 1, the complexity of the inner world of an INFJ. We all know this. INFJs have a rich and complex inner world, which is generally driven by their strong intuition and deep emotions. Because of this reason alone, it can be super difficult for others to truly grasp what an INFJ's thoughts, feelings, and perspectives are, even if they try really hard. This can lead the INFJ to feel misunderstood because that level of complexity isn't matched. Number 2, the unique communication style of an INFJ. Us INFJs tend to communicate in a nuanced and indirect way, sometimes relying on subtle cues and non-verbal signals. Because of this communication style, it can sometimes be misinterpreted or overlooked by others who prefer that more direct style of communication. Because of this, it can leave the INFJ to feel unheard. That's why in my counselling sessions, I try and summarize what the client is telling me. And you know what? Even as an INFJ, at times I can get it wrong too. Which is why it's important to clarify, which I think many non-INFJs do, they don't clarify. Because clarifying gives the INFJ the opportunity to continue to express themselves until they actually feel fully heard. Number 3, the depth of understanding that an INFJ has. I kind of already said this, but the INFJ is constantly seeking out to understand others in a deep way, empathizing with the other person's experience. But because they may not receive back the same level of depth and understanding, it can feel very unbalanced, almost unfair, right? Which then contributes to that feeling of being misunderstood and unheard. What are some of the things that we can do about it? I'm going to give you some suggestions. You can take it or leave it. Not everything will resonate with you, but maybe at least one of them could. 1. Come to a place of acceptance that you are wired differently. That the level of understanding and ability to understand others may not always match what you receive. I know that might be hard to come to terms with, and it's definitely not an excuse for people to be jerks to you, but sometimes just accepting where you're at can go a long way. That acceptance can lead to peace. 2, take up writing as a hobby. I often hear from INFJs that they feel like they can express themselves better through writing, whether that's short essays, stories, poems, songwriting, Instagram captions. The words seem to flow better for an INFJ rather than verbally. At times, when an INFJ goes to talk, it's like all of their words just fall out of their brain, like, ugh. It sucks. It happens to me all of the time. We are so deep, yet can look shallow when we can't express ourselves verbally. That's why the written word can be so powerful and so freeing and gives you an avenue for others to actually understand you and to hear what's on your heart. 3, join a group like Toastmasters. That's what I did. I personally have a desire to express myself verbally in a way that all people can hear and understand. Speaking is not my gift. Sometimes we need to make ourselves feel uncomfortable and throw ourselves in these positions where we are forced to learn the art of verbal communication. 4. Book a counselling appointment. You don't always need mental health issues to go see a counsellor. Sometimes it's just nice to have that 1 hour to yourself, to only talk about yourself with no interruptions. Some of my clients love to pour themselves a cup of tea and just have a cup of chat with me. It can be so powerful to have your story heard and to feel understood. You can book an appointment with me if you like. I can see people worldwide except for the US and Canada. Honestly, I don't always get it right, but I do make it my priority to do my best with every client in every session so that client does feel heard and understood. 5. Get around like-minded people. Be part of this YouTube community.
Subscribe to my channel.
Because then you are surrounding yourself with other INFJs who are speaking your language. Join Facebook groups. Seek friendships in real life where people have that same level of depth as you. I get many people telling me that's hard to do, INFJs are rare, but honestly, in my personal life, I have some really beautiful, close friendships in real life with other INFJs, and that came about by me talking about being an INFJ. Know that there are people out there who really do want to get to know who you are, who seek to understand and hear you. Okay guys, let me know if you think any of these tips might help you. And if you have your own, then please leave them in the comments. I know that the YouTube community here would absolutely love that. Start the conversation. You are all so wonderful, amazing, and beautiful. You fully deserve to feel heard, to feel understood, to feel validated. I love you so much. I mentioned earlier that I joined a Toastmasters group. I have my first proper speech coming up this week. I actually did a video on this about my experience at my first Toastmasters meeting and what Toastmasters is and what you can expect. If you wanted to learn more about that, or you're just simply interested to know what I'm getting myself up to in my personal world, then check out this video and give it a click, and I'll see you over there.